Hey, beautiful people. This is Ramon and Monica Jones, sponsored by
Much to say.
The Naked Perspective. You can't handle the perspective.
But if you think you can, let's get started.
Hey, beautiful people. We are so excited. We're here. We're live in the studio. We're excited. Once again, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to talk about what we have to talk about today. I think it's a great topic. I think anybody that is anybody in a relationship, thinking about a relationship, they need to hear this.
They need to hear this. Well, usually, I'm usually feeling some type of way. You feeling some type of way today?
I don't want to say I'm feeling some type of way more than I can relate with it in so many ways. So I think it's going to be good, good open dialogue, and just even talking about it behind the scenes, I think it's just a good dialogue, and I think people need to hear it. I think it's something that needs to be exposed. Hey, listen, we want to just remind you once again, on 26th to the 28th of January.
Of January 2024.
Yes, we have the I Still Do Marriage Conference.
Yes.
You have to be married to come to it. I want to make sure.
Yes,
right?
that is a point.
Yes,
I
you
have
can't be
many
dating, you can't be girlfriend, boyfriend, you can't be a fiance.
Single people wanting to come to this conference.
No, you got to be married, right?
You have to be married.
All right, so there's going to be some great things. Listen, please go to our website, muchtosay.com, to check out the details of it and to register.
Please,
listen,
register.
Seats are going fast.
Yes, and they're limited.
They are limited. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to open up as much as we want to.
No, not this go around.
But that's intentional, right?
It's intentional because we want the intimate setting. We want every couple to feel like they were touched.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want them to feel like they just came, and if they miss a session, who cares? No, we want everyone to feel like they got their money's worth.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if you're the first time listening to The Naked Perspective, welcome. We're so excited that you decided to keep that station dialed in, and we hope that you would get something out of this.
What's the name of the station?
The name of the station is KKVV
There you
1060 AM. Holla. Listen, we're live in Las Vegas, but this is not just here. It goes everywhere. And listen, we're on Facebook. Shout out to all of those that are watching. Yeah, this is global. This is international. It's ridiculous.
It is.
Now, listen, we got a very hot topic today. This topic is I think it's very important. I would probably say out of the top topics, this is up there.
This is up there. What's top 3?
I don't know if it's top 3. I don't know. I have to go
Top
through.
5?
I've definitely put in top 5.
Top 5 of all of the topics?
Top 5 of all topics, yes.
Okay, so it means something to you. Okay.
Well, I think it is. I really do think it's up there, and you're going to see why in a second. Why I say that?
Okay.
Because anybody in a relationship, anybody that's been dating, anybody that's ever been married, whatever the case may be, I think you're going to feel this.
Okay.
You're going to understand it. You're going to feel some type of way. But our prayer is that you would get some tips and tools to be able to successfully move forward and navigate, right? Or maybe you have friends that are dealing with this.
Yeah, or just be aware.
Right.
Sometimes awareness is key.
Right.
Is the first step to anything. It's just being aware.
But sometimes when you listen to stuff that your relationship is good and great, and it's none of that stuff, sometimes this just goes over your head at that moment, right? I mean, when you think your relationship is good, is fireproof. Shout out to the movie. I don't get no money for saying that, but it's fireproof in regards to that. Until. So what would you say to people that their marriage is great or the relationships are great, to the topic we're about to say right now?
Enjoy. Honestly, that's what I would say. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy. And what you hear today, if this is not applicable to you today, I always say this, I like to say this, take this information and this commentary that we're going to share, put it in your back pocket so you can pull it out when you need it.
I love that. Put it in back pocket.
Yeah, because relationship goes through seasons.
Right.
It's not summer forever.
Right.
It's not summer, but you enjoy the summer while it's here.
Yes.
Right, but you got to prepare for
and I like a
other
good
seasons.
summer. You like a good summer, but you got to prepare for the season
You
that
gotta prepare
you
for
may
the
be up
seasons.
down the road, because you don't have no idea what's coming ahead. Now,
Absolutely.
listen, I think, in my time of working, there were times that I worked, and the truth of the matter is,
hopefully they ain't listening.
well,
Our job.
Well, they listen. They know I'm transparent. I mean, what I say in secret is said openly. Listen,
Yeah.
I will say this: there are times that in times past jobs that I just quit. I was just done. I was, done, and I don't think they saw it coming. because I was on time. I was a hard worker. I gave my all, but then I was over there.
You gave your all?
Oh, I don't know. Who knows?
Okay.
You know, every man seems right in his own eye.
Right.
Okay,
But some of the basic things you did.
the basics.
You
I was
continue to
there. I was faithful. I was over it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are those that I gave the 2-week notice. I gave them the courtesy to let them know I'm moving forward. I don't want to continue on with you in the future. It's been fun. Thank you for the opportunity, but this is over. And I bring that up because the topic that we're dealing with, it's a lot like that, you know, that you have a lot of emotions and thoughts, but there are times when people quit in relationships.
They quit, and they quit quietly.
And they quit
quietly. So there's a few groups of people that I want to make mention of before we get in here. You have the group of people, like we talked about it, that their marriage may be just really on the mountaintop. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Like, you are experiencing fulfillment in your marriage, right? That's okay. So you got those group of people, and most oftentimes, those of us that have been married for any length of time can tell when there's like genuine feelings. Not that everything is perfect, but you know, your marriage is thriving. So you got that group of individuals. Then you got another group of individuals who are just outwardly dysfunctional.
Okay.
You're around these people. We've seen them on social media. They may be some of your friends.
Yes.
They may be some of your family members.
Okay.
But they are outwardly dysfunctional. And maybe don't want to be together, struggling to be together, but it's open, right? And for those people, if they were to give up, quit, and divorce, I mean, come on, nobody would be shocked.
Okay.
Because they wear their dysfunction
on the sleeves.
On their sleeves. Yeah. Then you have another group of people, which we're going to talk about today, that may be going through the motions. And so to the naked eye, it may appear that they're doing well, right? But somewhere, and I don't know where it was, but they know they may have quit. They may have quit. And those are the people that when things happen or the demonstration of them actually quitting comes to the surface, many people that are around them are shocked. Like, oh my goodness, I would have never saw that coming. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe Jane and Joe have quit. But Jane and Joe know what's happening. At least one of them.
Yes.
But one of them have quit.
Okay.
So you got that group of people. Then you got the group of people who have quit, right, that are just like the third couple, but continue on in their marriage until death do us part.
So you mean they quit, but they still going?
They still going, and they intend to keep going.
Wow.
So those are like 4 subset of people that I've put out there.
Yeah.
Right? But the last 2 talks about people that have quit, but they have quit, not just quit openly, they quit quietly. So my question to you is, why do you think people would quit in a relationship quietly? Now, we're not talking about that they just, hey, I don't want to be married no more. Like, I'm talking about like that would continue in a relationship and quit, but function as if they haven't quit.
Well, I can speak for, a little bit of myself and those that have been brought up in maybe a Christian environment. Sometimes that whole don't divorce, stay together, some of those things, the fear of what that would do. So they would rather stay together for the sake of, I don't want to divorce, God wants us to stay together type of thing, that fear of letting people down and just going through it, even if it's something that you're not necessarily feeling.
But why would they quit? I mean, that's why they would stay together. But why would someone? What would make someone quit in a relationship?
Yeah. Well, what would make someone want to quit in a relationship? They could be exhausted, tired. They could have been feeling like as if they're not being heard. That's a lot when somebody doesn't feel heard, especially a man, when he doesn't feel heard, that can be a challenge.
Okay.
Respect, the lack thereof, right? No respect, no more in the relationship. Being treated like a little kid. When you have a grown person, but you treat them like a little kid, the disrespect, I guess that would fall in the same banner. You just feel like there's no hope. And when anybody feels like there's no hope to it getting better, if it's bad communication, disrespect, and you feel like it's not getting better, somebody's not trying, not putting the effort, then it's easy to say, you know what, I'm done. You know
Okay,
what I
well,
mean?
why not just say something though? You know what I mean? Because that's, relationships goes through trials, and there's going to be times where people are going to feel as if they may not be being heard. There's going to be times where both parties are going to feel like they're disrespected. I mean, to go from feeling that into quitting, like what happened to the whole middle part?
Well, I think that it goes back again. If there has been elements of attempt, and I can't speak for everybody, but if there is an element of an attempt to try to resolve the issue or what's going on, and the other party just doesn't want to resolve it, some of us can get attitude. Some of us, when we get upset, we hold a grudge. Nobody can get through to us. We become hard-headed, like my dad used to say growing up. Son, you hard-headed. We just can get stubborn-willed, and we're right no matter what. I don't care. We could be wrong as two left shoes on, but to us, I'm right in the moment. We don't want to listen, and when we do that to our spouses, it's not playing fair. You're not fighting fair. You're fighting rude. You're being mean. You're being a lack of a heart for the bigger picture. Let's make that clear. If you're trying to come to me and trying to communicate with me, and you're doing all of the right things, your approach, the timing of those things, I gotta be able to meet with you halfway at least. I gotta at least be able to try. And when I'm not trying, nor do I want to try because I'm turned off or I don't care, I'm over it, or I feel offended and I'm just going to hold that grudge, well, it's going to make it very hard for someone to continue on in a relationship when the other person is unwilling to try. So I don't know how people get there sometimes. Sometimes it could be circumstances. Sometimes it could be event on top of
the
events.
simple thing for
right?
and that's what I was going to say. It's probably a compiling of events. We've gone through a lot of stuff in our life, and so that's what I go back to try to think of. What were those moments where there may not have been like let's get a divorce, but it could be over something simple. It could be like even just discussing maybe how to approach something with our children, and when you feel like maybe you're not being heard, right, over and over and over, and you realize that with your best efforts things are still not yielding, right, the results that you're looking for, you just may give up.
Got it.
Like, I'm not even going to try anymore. Okay, whatever you want to do with the kids, great, you do with the kids. Like, I'm just, whatever. I'm going to disassociate myself for that. And I feel like, I just feel like this, because I have to consider my own self,
Sure.
right? That those things compile, right? And they compound to get to a place of where you just don't do that in one area, but you do that, when it comes to just your marriage in its entirety.
Got it. So let me ask you this then.
But
okay.
my thing is that, okay, no, go ahead. Ask
Oh,
me.
no.
No, Reverend.
Let's go. We got 12 minutes left.
Okay,
Let's
come on.
go. Here it goes.
This is already seeming like a part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
So let me
6.
ask you this. Did you ever... Huh?
This is the naked perspective, so there's nothing
Here it
you
goes.
can't ask me.
Here it goes. All right. Have you ever, or did you ever want to, or have you ever quit on me? Yeah, let's go. It's there now. I asked the question.
Quietly. So we're talking about quietly.
Quietly. Did you quit on me quietly, or have you ever thought about quitting on me quietly?
I can say, I quit on you openly.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that coming. This is true.
I did.
We got a book.
We got a book. Read it, okay? I quit on you openly, but I have I'm really trying to be honest, right?
Sure.
I don't think I've quit on you quietly. I think I've thought about quitting on you quietly. And I can, if you want me to expound.
Yeah, I mean, it's like not like recent or nothing, is
No.
it? Okay,
But-
just to make sure. Okay, cool.
But
All right, cool.
but the longer you are married and the more of an investment you have in your marriage, there's just things that you feel like, or I feel like, you got to consider.
Okay, that's good.
Right? And so when I consider like, okay, my needs, I don't necessarily feel like maybe all my needs are being met. And it may not even have anything to do with you. This is where sometimes seasons of life change. We got to reevaluate expectations.
Right.
Realistic. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So this isn't necessarily about you. We're just talking about the thoughts.
Sure.
Right? But sometimes when you count up the cost of what that might look like, especially when you've been together 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 7 years, it doesn't matter, to go through all of what it would look like to openly quit, because we already did that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We let a lot of people down, let ourselves down. We got kids, that sometimes it's just better that, like, listen, I'm just going to do me. We're going to still keep all this, right? But I'm just going to do me.
Right.
Like, that's quietly quit, right?
It is.
Meaning that, like, I'm not going to even try anymore,
Well,
because
and that's
I don't want the conflict. I don't want the confrontation. I keep telling you how I'm feeling. I keep telling you how this is making me feel. I keep seeing how you react when I tell you how it makes me feel, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to be divorced either, because I still love you
Got you.
and I want my family. So then what do I do?
Yeah.
Well, then I just kind of I'm going to give up.
Right. You give up, but still be there. That's like
But can you give up and still be there?
Yeah, you can give up and still be there.
Physically be there?
Man, how many people had a job and the next thing trucking would take it? Come on. You know what I'm saying? They just wait until something better. It happens.
But
Sometimes
can you really be present if you're open to something better?
you can't be present.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're not there.
So you quit. So that's the thing about it.
But you're saying you can be physically there.
You can still be there and
Right.
still quit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I've seen this where I've seen people say, "Hey, Ramon, I want to say I'm leaving and tomorrow's my last day." And I'm like, "What? What happened? I thought you loved this place. What was just happened?" Because at the end of the day is people could put on a facade and act like everything is great, everything is good. And to everybody else, they got the rings on, they arrive together, they're smiling. Because, we live in a society now, you can fake it. We tell you fake it till you make it, right? That's what we tell you. You know what I'm saying? That's the philosophy out in our land now. You fake it till you make it. Matter of fact, in church, my mom used to say, fix your face. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Okay.
let it show, huh?
Okay, so you're a professional of making it.
Yeah,
Wait,
my
whoa,
mom would
whoa,
tell you,
whoa.
fix your face, boy.
Oh no,
And
we're not gonna talk about mom right now. So you asked me a question.
Oh.
You ain't gonna leave me hanging out here on a limb.
Well, this is much to say is your
Oh, it's
baby.
much to
I mean,
say.
see,
Oh,
when
this
you
is
when
our
you started
baby.
much to say,
Oh, no. No.
I was
We
like,
got 8
I
minutes
love
and
this woman,
12 seconds
and whatever
left.
God puts in your heart, I am supportive
But
of
we
you.
want to help the people.
This is true. This
Okay,
is true.
so-
All right,
Have you
have I?
quit
Oh my
quietly
goodness.
or thought of quitting
I
quietly?
don't do nothing quietly. That's first of all. Let's just make sure that's clear. But the truth of the matter is, for me to physically do the things that I did in the past, which was leave, which was to go move out and get an apartment at that season of my life, it was because of the things that I was thinking. I was tired. I was exhausted. I was frustrated.
Okay, but that was openly. We're talking about quietly.
I'm saying in my mind that before I got there.
Oh, before you openly
Because
did.
what happens
Okay.
is a lot of times the physical response is something that has already been done on the inside.
That's right.
You've already come to resolve on the
Mentally.
inside. Now you're just physically
Emotionally.
seeing everything I've already concluded with on the inside. Now you're seeing the manifestation of my thoughts.
Right.
So the manifestation of my thoughts was the apartment. The manifestation of my thoughts was getting out. The manifestation of my thoughts was getting a new car, getting my own bank account. But before that, I was already done on the inside. I was
Okay.
sitting at the table listening, but not listening. I was going out, but I wasn't. I was out, but I wasn't there, mentally, emotionally. So you can still go to these things, movies, you can hold hands and still not be there.
Let me ask you a question. So, would you say you quitting quietly, of course, gave way to quitting openly, right? But do you feel like when you quit quietly, you have control over what happens or doesn't happen? Or do you feel it like when you start to quit quietly, you put yourself like on this conveyor belt and then it's just moving you along? Like you may not even realize you're moving, but you're moving yourself along to a place of maybe you really didn't want to be there, because the quitting quietly probably wasn't because you really wanted to quit. I mean, I'm not going to put words in your mouth.
Sure. Of course
That's what
I
hurt
didn't.
and pain
Of course,
does.
that's why I'm here. Of
I
course,
know, but
yes.
you know what I'm saying? But that's what hurt and pain does.
Sure.
It wants hurt and pain hurts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't want to hurt. And so we try to do the things that we do to stop the hurt and the pain. And so we think quitting, right, will stop the hurt and the pain. And that's why we do it quietly, because we really don't want it to end.
Right.
But we just want to stop hurting.
Sure.
But once you start going down that path, would you say you got to a place of, yes, you decided that, you were done, but did you really want to be done? When you know what I'm saying? If you're thinking about when you first started, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. So, the quitting was in regards to something I did not want to do. The reason why you talk about doing it quietly, the reason why I can speak for myself, doing it quietly is because when you try to do it publicly and openly, rather, is a better statement, openly, let's dialogue, let's navigate through this challenge together, and you realize it's not, then you go back to privately, because the only person you have to deal with is really yourself, right? All you have to deal with is, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm thinking. Is this a good decision? Well, I feel like it is. This is how I feel. Let's just rock with it. And nobody else is at this table of Ramon that don't make no sense. Nobody's there to challenge me. So this is why the Bible is very clear, in the multitude of counsel, there's safety.
Yeah.
There's something about just wise counsel. There's something about even with your spouse or your mate talking about stuff. Because I honestly believe you expose the enemy once you begin to communicate, bring it to the light. I believe the enemy works best in secrecy and dark. Mm-hmm. I believe he works best in I'm going to keep it to myself, not tell nobody. I believe he works best at that. But however, what I'm saying is that's what made sense with me at that time.
Right, because openly, I feel like is like there's a finality to it.
Correct.
When you openly quit, it's now like you didn't set yourself,
right.
You put it out there, and so what we doing? We're
right.
going to be done. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think nobody wants to be done, and I think we do it quietly because we're really hoping for a change.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
We're hoping that either you would change, or I would change, or the situation would change. But what we don't realize is that the enemy will take that quietness, that secretness, right, and expose it, even though it looks like it's quiet. And it'll put us in a place of no return. That the very thing that we were trying to avoid, which was really quitting,
yeah,
still ends up happening, right?
Wow.
Because we've given him a foothold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's good. And I think it's well said. There's so many people, like I said, they will go to church. They're in a quitting position. There are people that will be pastoring, leading a whole church, and already be in a quitting state with their spouse.
That's
and the
right.
people would never know it.
Right.
The people will never know it because that's not what it looks like. And
Running seminars, yeah.
Yeah, and this is why I believe I don't even like to get into this stuff too deep, because this is not the platform. But however, that's why the Bible gives gifts to the body of Christ for discernment reasons. So some things that we can see somebody, no matter what it looks like on the exterior, we can say, I know you're smiling, but I want to minister to your heart.
Right.
I know that you're smiling. I know you guys got the nice clothes. I know you got the nice house and cars, but I want to minister to you as a person. That's why I believe being full of the Holy Spirit is so necessary for those that are doing what they call ministry, because there are people broken. There are people that are now looking for reasons, for the reason why they were looking to quietly quit. They're looking for, they're getting validation from what they're seeing social media. They're getting validation. They're like,
and
well,
no one's questioning it. No one's challenging
nobody's
it.
questioning.
Right.
Nobody's saying it's messy. It's messing up families. It's distorting children. It's messing over these young men and women. They're now having a bad outlook when it comes to marriage. They're now saying, what's the purpose of getting married? Well, let's just live together. It's distorting all of this because nobody wants to be honest and say, I'm upset, I'm mad, I'm angry. We're not communicating.
And it's not right to feel like this.
Right. Because it's
for
okay.
a long period
it's okay
of time with no resolve.
Right. No resolve is definitely dangerous. But it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be, to be honest that we're not on good communication
grounds. That's how you know something's wrong.
That's how you know something's wrong. But I do believe you have to talk. You have to find a way, whether it's go to counseling, whether it's bring a third party in. You have to bring help and do all that you can. And sometimes bringing somebody else in shows your spouse, I'm serious. I'm not doing this to share all of our business. I'm bringing this person in to show you I'm serious in what I'm saying. I don't want to quit. I don't want to give up. But if you're refusing to work, what do you think we're going to do? You want God to part the Red Sea? He has to do a miracle? Why does he have to do something like that in us when this is your decision and this is my decision, and you're choosing not to open up and talk, and you're choosing not to want to move forward?
Right.
So
Right. There's a place, there's a part that both parties have to play. Right. And
so what would you leave somebody with?
So what I would leave somebody with, I'll say this, and we got to end it, is that for the person that may be thinking about quitting, that has quit, I would say give it another shot. try to voice your concern and be very honest. Like I would say, like, listen, I'm thinking about quitting. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm having.
But this is
some
a good
strong-
opportunity to come to muchtosay.com.
Oh, yeah, we can help you.
So
We
much
can
to
help
say
you.
because this is the reason why we do what we do. Honestly,
Yeah, we can
is
help
to
you.
hear people out because
We've been
sometimes when
there.
people hear it
Yeah.
and they hear themselves talk out loud, I've heard myself talk out loud and be like, "Boy, that was stupid." Man, I can't believe I'm thinking like that. And I believe that if you go to muchtosay.com, I believe there's some resources that is there for this very reason.
Absolutely.
Because you're silent, but I believe there's help. Listen, we got to go. We will
gotta
be
go.
back
We
Sunday.
didn't
You
even
think we got to do
finish.
part 2?
I don't know. Well, we didn't finish.
Part 2. We'll come back part 2.
Miss Alyssa says yes.
Let's stay tuned because I don't think we're done. I think there's a lot of people that need to hear some more inspiration. But we got to go for today. We hope you enjoy the Naked Perspective. Listen, have a great day, okay? See you soon.
Well, were you able to handle the perspective? Thank you for listening to another segment of the Naked Perspective.
If you would like to see or hear more of us, or if you would like to get in touch with us, please visit our website at www.much2say.com.